Hey, good afternoon, everybody. Doing another special Facebook Live for you because we now have those storms really starting to strengthen now across the Arklatex here. As expected, we're starting to get into that 4 or 5 o'clock hour, and things are really starting to heat up now. So we have some strong storms going on, basically extending from East Texas here near San Augustine and just east of Nacogdoches up into just east of Center and then up into DeSoto Parish near Mansfield. We're tracking a pretty strong storm cell here. Going to keep a really close eye on these. Any one of these storms does have the potential to become severe and could produce damaging winds or a tornado. So that's going to be a possibility. This storm to the southwest of Mansfield, we got to keep a really close eye on this one. That does have a little bit of rotation associated with it. And then notice that the storm, the main line of storms, has already passed to the east of Shreveport and Bossier. So if you're watching from Shreveport and Bossier, believe it or not, our severe weather threat is pretty much over. So we kind of dodged a bullet again. We were kind of expecting this line to form right near the Shreveport-Bossier metros, and it did. And again, most of that heavier stuff is now to the east of Shreveport and Bossier. There's still a little bit of heavy activity, this final line off to our west here. But the bigger stuff definitely is sitting just to the south and east of Shreveport. Another nasty little storm there near Minden, right along I-20. So we're going to watch that one as well. I also am keeping a really close eye on the National Weather Service chat room right now. If they do issue a tornado warning on any of this, Evan Thomason is ready to go. So if they do issue a tornado warning, Evan will be jumping on live on KSLA News 12, so you can see him live on television. And then I will probably wrap this up if we do get a tornado warning pretty quickly so that I can get ready and head on into the studio to help him as well. But I want to show you a few things here, especially with this storm just off to the southwest of Mansfield. So let's kind of take a look at the velocity with this. And there is a little bit of rotation. It's not very strong, but there is a little bit of a rotation showing up here to the south and west of Mansfield. Again, it's not something that is overly concerning at this time, but the National Weather Service is keeping a close eye on it. The area that we're watching, let me kind of highlight that for you here. So the area that we are sort of seeing a little bit of rotation would be right about there. It's really hard to make out, but we do have a weak rotation there south and west of Mansfield. So we're keeping an eye on that. Again, want to reiterate, this is not a tornado warning, but it has a little bit of rotation in it. So gonna keep an eye on that for sure. That's that storm cell there. That's just off to the south and west of Mansfield. Then we'll take you to the northeast. And I want to look at this storm that's actually just south and east of Shreveport here. This is in far southern portions. Actually, it's moving out of DeSoto into southern portions of Caddo Parish here, the very southern tip of Caddo. And again, we'll take a look inside and see if we see any sort of rotation in this. And again, seeing maybe a little bit of broad rotation there, nothing that looks overly concerning at this time. So that's good. And then we'll take a look at this storm that has formed here to the east of Shreveport. This one near Minden, definitely a little bit more concerning just with the way that this looks. And again, this is getting into that favorable environment that we talked about. So this is getting into an area where the ingredients are kind of there for maybe some tornadic activity. So we'll keep an eye on it. Again, this storm cell east of Shreveport near Minden here in Webster Parish. Keeping a close eye on this one. Looking at the velocity. Again, not really seeing any strong rotation, so that is great news. But there are a few little areas, you can kind of see one there, a little one to the northwest of Minden. So a few little weak areas of rotation that we're tracking right now. And if you see me looking at my phone quite often, it's because I'm keeping a really close eye on the National Weather Service chat. Anyway, so that is that storm that's to the east of Shreveport. And there you can see it right there. So again, that's the one that's just to the west of Minden, and then that kind of extends up into portions of southern Arkansas. And then we got kind of a secondary line off to the west. So the main line is the one that's farther to the east, but you see this kind of secondary line back here. So that's the one that we're going to also keep an eye on. Again, don't really see any strong areas of rotation there, so that's, of course, good news as well. But again, let's kind of widen the view here and kind of show you the main area of concern. And also want to check on these storms down near center. So let's take a look a little bit farther to the south. So this is going to be moving into northern sections of Sabine Parish out of East Texas. So we're keeping an eye on those as well. And as far as the rotation there, maybe see a little bit of a broad rotation south and west of Huxley. But again, nothing that really jumps out at me at this time as being super concerning. So that's the good news. But again, the environment is favorable. So we'll keep an eye on that. And again, you can see how this line kind of extends all the way south. So let me kind of widen this just a little bit and show you the broader picture of what's going on. And hopefully you guys can see that okay. I know it's a little small on my screen, but I hope you can see it okay. So let's take a look at the last 3 hours of how this has been evolving. And you can see how that main line, this is the main event here. You see that lead line that's kind of ahead of the cold front. So that extends from our southern areas all the way into our north central Louisiana parishes into southern Arkansas. So it's that lead line right there that's just passed through Shreveport. That's the one that has that severe potential as it continues to make its way east. And the environment out ahead of this in our eastern parishes is very, very favorable for severe weather. So going to keep an eye on this. The good news is it is moving fairly quickly. So I think this should mainly be out of our viewing area, you know, by 7 o'clock maybe. So it might be moving out pretty quickly. So that's the good news. Let me kind of widen this just a bit. So again, that's a current look at the radar. Let's take a look at the tornado watch. You probably saw that crawl on your TV or you got the alert. We got a tornado watch right now for our eastern, basically all of our Louisiana parishes. And that is until 7 p.m., I believe. Let me double check the timing. Actually, you know what? I think that's 10 p.m. Let me double check this. I think that watch goes till about 10 o'clock. Yes, it is 10. I didn't get a chance to update that graphic, but the tornado watch is in effect till 10 p.m., but more than likely it will be canceled early because, again, this line continues to move east. So what you're going to see happening is they're going to start to trim western sections of that watch off as that line of storms continues to make its way eastward. So that's your tornado watch. And let me take a quick check of our temperatures because this kind of helps show which areas that are still under that threat. So areas that still have the warm air, you're still under that risk. Notice that Shreveport, we have dropped down to 70. So that tells me that the front is starting to move through and that we might see our severe risk start to diminish. If you're anywhere west, if you're like out towards Marshall, Texas, if you're in Texarkana, your threat's completely over with. No more threat at all, just some rain. But where you see those really warm temperatures there to the east, you see those upper 70s in Natchitoches and Bienville, that's where the atmosphere is still really primed for severe weather. So that's the area that we really need to watch. And let's see if we have any updates from the Storm Prediction Center. So again, still the same areas of concern, and that would be across our eastern parishes. So that's going to include basically locations east of I-49, and that is east of Shreveport and Bossier. It does include Natchitoches and Ruston, Monroe, out towards Bienville and Coshada. So again, eastern portions of the Arklatex, you are underneath that enhanced risk for the rest of the afternoon and into the evening. And I think we got a new update on our future track as well. So let's see what this is showing. So this is doing a really good job. This is actually really doing a great job today. So I am very high confidence in this. So here's where we are right now. There's that line pushing through. And as we head towards about 6 p.m. or so, that starts to move into Natchitoches and it starts to really impact our far eastern parishes. And notice as this line pushes farther east, it is going to be strengthening. So that's why I've been saying all along that it's our eastern parishes that we got to watch. That's 6 p.m. There is 6:30 right there. So you can see still some nasty storm cells near Natchitoches. But based on the speed that this line is moving, I think by about 7 o'clock, it's going to be out of at least our viewing area, but it will still be impacting northeast Louisiana and southeastern Arkansas. But by 7 p.m., again, most of that should be out of our viewing area. So let's go back to the live radar, take a look at the storms that we have currently going on. And this line definitely is starting to strengthen. You kind of see two lines that are developing across the area. There's this one line that's off to the west of Shreveport, right through here. That's not really concerning. That's kind of behind the front. That might actually be the cold front itself right there. But it's the storms that are out ahead of this. So it's these storms here, the leading line of storms, that's where we have that highest potential of severe weather. So that's the area that we really got to watch. And one storm that we have been closely monitoring is that storm that's near Mansfield. So let me zoom in again on that one. So this one here, DeSoto Parish near Mansfield, that is one of the stronger ones we've seen so far today. Again, this does not have a tornado warning on it. In fact, it doesn't even have a severe thunderstorm warning on it, but that is a little bit suspicious. So let's take a look inside the storm and see if we have any rotation there. And not really. I don't see any strong rotation, which is good. If there was a tornado in this, you would clearly see an area of red and green. It's what we call a couplet. You'd see that red and green really, really, really close to one another. It would really stand out as you, so you would definitely see it. This, I don't really see much going on as far as rotation, so that's good. We'll go back to the regular radar again. So that's that storm near Mansfield. And the new radar scan, you can see how that radar scan just came in, and it looks like it's trying to maybe get that look to it. So let's take a look at that again. Again, that's that storm just to the south and west of Mansfield. So I'll take a look at the velocity again on that. So we just got a brand new radar scan. And let me just check my other radar just for a second. I have a lot of different things I'm looking at here. So there is a little bit of a rotation moving through Mansfield now. It's nothing super alarming, but there is a little bit of rotation in this storm. So if you are watching from Mansfield, keep a close eye on that. If you're watching in central DeSoto, keep an eye on that storm, and also along I-49. So again, that's that storm a little bit suspicious there near Mansfield. Let's take a look at this one farther to the south into East Texas. This is east of Center, Texas, going to move into Sabine Parish. This storm, there are a few broad areas of rotation. You see a little bit of that. It's really nothing that, that stands out all that much. Again, this is that little region right near Mansfield. We might be getting some strong wind gusts in there right now, so going to keep an eye on that. And then let's kind of go up the line here. So that's the storm in DeSoto, and then we'll take it into southern portions of Bossier Parish now. So this is south and east of Shreveport. You can see that area right there starting to get a little bit suspicious. So let's take a look at the velocity there. And again, there's some broad rotation showing up. You can see that right there. A little bit of a broad rotation. So again, we're going to keep our eyes on things. More and more of these storms are starting to show at least some rotation. And that's the reason why, of course, we have a tornado watch, because the conditions are favorable for that. So that's that storm that's south and east of Shreveport and southern Bossier, and that's south of Houghton right now. And then we will take you to the north and east. So let's go up the line here. Let's look at this storm into north of Minden and also moving into Claiborne Parish, so near Homer. This one doesn't really have much rotation associated with it, maybe some broad rotation there as well. So again, you can see pretty much all these storms kind of on the weaker side at this time. There are some areas of weak rotation we're going to keep an eye on. But really the two storms that I'm kind of watching right now is this one near Mansfield and the one south and east of Shreveport. Kind of have that look to it. So keep an eye on that. If you guys have any questions, I'm trying to answer those. Yeah, so there's a few little areas of concern out there right now, but again, we still have a few more hours to go with this severe weather. So we're not gonna really be in the clear until this clears our eastern parishes. However, if you are watching from Shreveport and Bossier, it looks like we actually are done with the severe threat here. So that's great news. And, we really weren't expecting too much in the Shreveport-Bossier metros all along. This entire time, it was kind of looking more like the eastern half of our area, which just seems to be happening as we speak. All right, so let's go back to a few of these other storms. And again, it's really that one. I'm really just watching these two. This one near Mansfield has me a little bit concerned, and the one also just west of Ringgold. So I'll kind of circle the two storms that I'm watching right now really closely. There's this one right here that has a little bit of concern with it. And then again, this one here just to the west of Ringgold. That's an area that we're going to watch. Those two, of all the storms that we have on the radar, those two look a little bit suspicious. So let's take a look at the velocity again. And yeah, there's some broad rotation. That one near Mansfield, going to keep a close eye on that. And again, if we do get a tornado warning here soon, I'm going to jump off this very quickly because that means I'm going to get ready to run into work. So that's why. So if you see me abruptly jump off this Facebook Live, that probably means that stuff's going down. So someone asking for Houghton. Let's take a look at Houghton. There's a storm over Houghton. It's nothing that we need to be concerned with. No, just some rain and lightning. Nothing bad for Houghton. Just some heavy rain. Someone asked about Coshada. Let's see. Hold on, I got to get my bearings here. Kashada, you're going to probably get these storms, I would say, within the next hour or so, but the worst stuff is still off to your west, but definitely stay weather aware. Natchitoches, you are actually in the clear right now. You're not going to get hit by these until probably about 6 or 7. It's like maybe an hour or two longer. And don't see any updates from the National Weather Service at this time, so that's always a good thing. But they, of course, are keeping a close eye on stuff as well. Monroe, you are actually looking pretty good right now. Actually, Monroe's in the clear, but you're going to get some nasty stuff later on this evening, probably after maybe like 8 or 9 o'clock. Ringgold, same deal for you. Actually, let's take a look at Ringgold. Hold on one second. No, actually, Ringgold, you're going to be potentially impacted by that cell in Bossier Parish. That'll be in the next 20 minutes, probably. Bossier City, we are actually in the clear. I mean, we're still going to see some rain. We're still going to get a few more downpours around Shreveport and Bossier, but really, believe it or not, the worst of it is east. So if you're watching from Shreveport, Bossier, the severe threat's pretty much ended. So, I mean, we still got some stuff off to our west. But, yep, it's these lead storms. It's all the ones here that I'm showing you that are ahead of the cold front. These are the ones that we need to watch pretty closely. And really going to zoom in on that one near Mansfield again. And not really seeing super strong rotation. That's good. And let's go look to the south. There's, again, some broad areas, some strong winds, certainly down with these storms here. But so far, so good. So let's hope this trend continues. Again, we still got a few more hours, at least another 2 to 3 hours that we're going to be in this threat for our eastern parishes. So we don't want to let our guard down. But again, so far, so good. So we will continue to monitor this for you guys. But you can see the latest radar update. That scan just came through, and the heavy rain just moved through Mansfield, crossing I-49. And then again, we got this little cell that's east of Shreveport that we're keeping an eye on, and then also this one near Homer that I'm keeping a close watch on as well. Manny, Toledo, Bend. Let's take a look at Manny. Yeah, you got some stuff moving in from East Texas right now to Sabine Parish, but it doesn't look like it's severe at this time. So that's good. Oh, it looks like they're going to be issuing a severe thunderstorm warning for the storm moving across Mansfield. So there is our first warning of the day is coming out, but it's a severe thunderstorm warning. And I believe that's going to be for this storm that we're literally just showing you here. So this is the one right here that's going to get a severe thunderstorm warning on it momentarily. And we'll see what the National Weather Service does here in just a second. Campty, probably going to be in the next hour to hour and a half, maybe. No, Barksdale area is in the clear. You're still going to get some rain, but your severe threat's done. And a reminder, we do still have that tornado watch. So let me actually. So I think this severe thunderstorm warning that's coming out here in a second is mainly going to be for strong winds, but we'll find out what the National Weather Service warns it for in just a second. But that is going to likely be for this storm right here that's moving through Mansfield. And again, so there's the warning. So National Weather Service issuing a severe thunderstorm warning for this storm. I think it's the one near Mansfield. Actually, it looks like a fairly large warning. Let me wait till the warning comes out. We're going to see which areas are included. But it looks like the warning was located northeast of Mansfield for that storm, moving northeast at 40. So, and they are expecting 60-mile-an-hour winds with that storm. So that's going to be the primary concern at this time. So let me pull on a different. Let's just do something different here. 1 second. Let me take off the radar for a second so I can show you this warning. There it is. All right, so this is the new warning that was just issued here. This is a severe thunderstorm warning. It's a pretty large warning too. because again, that storm is kind of racing off to the northeast. So that's your severe thunderstorm warning. It does include the eastern sections of DeSoto Parish and also including portions of northern Red River Parish there, and then that kind of sliver of Caddo and Bossier and moving towards Ringgold. So that storm that's in Mansfield could actually make it towards Ringgold fairly soon. And then let me do a little bit of a track on this for you too. 1 second. And again, I'm doing this on the fly, so just bear with me. So go back to the normal radar. All right, so that's that. So that's that storm near Mansfield. That's the one that has the warning. So as we do a track on that, again, that's moving northeast at around 40 miles an hour. So what that's going to do, I'll just do a track and show you locations on the path. So hopefully you guys can see that okay. So Ringgold, you're going to be hit by this probably around 548, Ashland 555, and Lucky around 606. So those are the areas that are going to be impacted by that particular storm as it moves northeast. And again, right now, this storm is being warned for 60 mile an hour wind gusts, but you know, with the environment that we do have today, there's the potential that some of these could spin up into a tornado, and there is a little bit of a circulation showing up in this storm. So let's take a look at that again. In fact, there's a couple little areas of rotation that I want to look at. So let me clear this off. And so again, there is some broad rotation starting to show up. It's still not super concerning, but you can see it kind of crossing there on I-49. How about Shreveport Bossier? Yeah, we're done with the severe threat here in Shreveport Bossier. We are good. So that's that area of broad rotation that you can kind of see there just near Mansfield. And again, that's going to cross over I-49. So that's one area that we're watching. And then there's another little spot that I am going to keep a close eye on here. This is south of Huxley. This is East Texas. You can see that area right through there. So there is a little bit of something going on there. Let's take a look at the radar picture. And that's that storm that's going to move into northern portions of Sabine Parish. So there's a little bit of a rotation going on there as well. And then it looks like maybe something else going on down here. So again, this whole line is starting to intensify. So got a few little areas that we're going to watch. No tornado warnings right now, but the possibility that we get one is definitely there. But we will keep an eye on everything for you. And then as you look up to the north, we got more storms up here. So pretty busy picture we got going on. Storms kind of all over the place. But it's really this main line. So I'll kind of highlight it here. So it's this main line of storms right through here, this whole line that we're tracking. That's the one that has the greatest severe threat. And again, that is all moving to the east. So that's kind of the leading edge of that line has the highest threat. Let me get back to the National Weather Service, see what they're looking at. And we are getting heavy rain in Shreveport again. I can hear it outside my house here. So again, all these storms bear watching. This one near Mansfield, definitely going to watch that one closely. That does have the severe thunderstorm warning with it. So we're going to watch that. And let's take a look at our velocity on that one more time. So again, there is some rotation there. It's nothing that I'm overly concerned with at the moment, but we're going to keep an eye on it. And I'm probably going to jump off here momentarily just because I want to get ready to head into work just in case. We got Evan there right now, but I want to make sure I can get in there if I need to. So, and that would require me actually getting in my suit. So let me, let's take one more glance at these storms and then I'm going to jump off here. Okay, so yeah, this whole line starting to strengthen through DeSoto Parish, and it's going to be moving eastward towards Natchitoches here in a little bit. So if you're anywhere east of this line in our eastern parishes, keep a close eye on these storms, and we will, of course, continue to track them as well. We got Evan in the studio now, keeping an eye on things there. I'm keeping an eye on stuff from home, and I will likely be heading in if we get any tornado warnings. But again, guys, just stay safe out there. And this is all going to move east pretty quickly. And this should be out of our viewing area by probably about 7 p.m., 7 to 8 o'clock. This is all going to be out of here. So that's the good news with that. Thank you guys again, and stay safe, and we will keep you updated.